Hello, buddy, and welcome back. This is episode 7 of Pro Wrestling Sim, and this is our Extreme Revival run, which is 2006 and beyond, of course. So it's been a little while since we've been here. I do have Bill with me,
Of course.
of course. Went from what was going to be a guest star in the series to being a co-host. Bill's here to react to my booking and whether it's good or bad, and we get to see it together. Well, the audience, you guys and Bill get to see it together as I unveil it to the world. Whether my ideas are monstrous or maybe some alright stuff.
I sentence you to watch more early TNA as punishment for these booking ideas.
Yes. So,
I'm not suffering alone.
where we left off last time is we would have done. We did. I don't remember if we did Vengeance and Raw together, or if it was just Raw. No, it was Heat and Raw last time, I think.
Yeah, it was Heat and Raw.
Yeah, it was Heat and Raw last time, and Vengeance was by itself the episode before, because we do pay-per-views by themselves, because we get a little more involved at that point. So yeah. Pretty cool.
It's about 3 hours of TV either way.
Yeah, pretty much. Although I did extend in this universe ECW to 2 hours, because fuck, yeah, it didn't work for my vision of ECW, because I actually wanted ECW to be more of its own identity than they did, so. But anyways.
Yeah, ECW was really just the FCW show after a bit.
Yeah, pretty much. So today we will be covering ECW and Smackdown. I joked to Bill before we went live with this recording that the hardest part of this recording for me will probably be getting back in the headspace of my booking decisions going on at this point in the bookings, because I pre-booked this stuff quite a while ago now, because it's been 2 or 3 months since we've recorded this series. But
so it's kind of a live reaction for everyone.
I guess so this time. It'll probably come back to me, a lot of it, so that's good. So yeah, I guess we'll hop right in. I think the last time, no, we didn't hit July yet, so there's some end of the month fins we still can't look at, but we should be able to look at the end of this episode, so that's cool. Okay, ECW, and we're going live so you guys don't get spoiled too much with this menu. Alright, opening the show. Oh yes, this is when I also started to write full-on descriptions for my promos too and stuff. So
That'll help you remember what you're doing.
it sure will. That's why I started doing them. So ECW opens up that lovely little intro, and then we get Paul Heyman adding stakes to International Showcase Night, which was teased on last week's show, International Showcase Night. So let's see what Paul Heyman had to say in this nice little promo I lined out. By the way, I just noticed it's got a 97 rating. May I say, very nice.
I mean, it's Heyman on the mic.
Yeah,
That's very hard to screw up.
it's been giving me some easy brownie points for sure. So Heyman comes out and explains that the quarterfinal match of the TV title tournament was meant to be Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka, though much like Just Incredible, Mike Awesome won't be available. So now tonight on International Showcase Night, as we meet newly signed talent to the ECW brand showing off their styles and wrestlers from allied promotions, there will be 2 three-way dance matchups. One match to showcase Japanese talent and one to showcase Mexican luchadors. The winner of both three-way dances tonight move on to face Masato Tanaka next week in another three-way dance to see who will move on in the TV title tournament. So, there's the stakes for International Showcase Night. This went from just talent getting to showcase their skills and international flavor of different wrestling types and styles to now these guys are getting a chance to work their way into the TV title tournament. So, pretty big deal. Because, yes,
I can't remember, was it drugs or did Mike get hurt?
it was drugs.
Of course it was.
That's why I alluded to much like Just Incredible. I think they were hit with the
I
same
thought
thing.
so. Yeah, I think so.
I
Because
think
I remember going on a rant about this game being too penal at the drug testing.
yes. Hopefully that gets fixed in the future, but we'll see what happens. I guess there's worse problems to have hypothetically, but it is definitely ridiculous how
Yeah, it could
it
actually
works.
be our roster. It's not so bad that it's just a game.
So, speaking of International Showcase night, this is ECW, and we might open with promo. But right after this promo, we tend to get right to some good action, and we keep that trend going with our first International Showcase three-way dance, which is the Luchadors Showcase, with Aerostar versus Extreme Tiger versus Hechicero. So,
Trying to pop the audience early, I see.
yes. I mean, the crowd didn't care because these guys aren't popular, but yeah, and actually this match in terms of scores wasn't good, but the match quality itself was good because these guys can work.
Yeah, I think the scores were just based on the fact that no one knew who any of these
yeah,
guys
no,
were.
and
It's going to be another almost 20 years before Hechicero gets North American recognition.
I mean, I yeah, yeah, true. But this is ECW back in the day was known for its meshing of styles, and I'm trying to kind of continue bring that back into this modern.
It's a good thing that should be carried on. It's just unfortunately the game's treating it like a WWE audience, not an ECW audience.
I
An
still,
ECW audience would pop big for this because they were hardcores that traded tapes.
I still think I don't, I don't regret putting it in this spot because I thought this was not going to do the best in terms of
You've
those
got the
scores.
rise from the Heyman promo right before it, and then I see you've got more Heyman after
I
this.
sure do.
So it's well booked to lift the crowd
Yeah.
over this match.
So yeah. I had Hechicero go over. I had to look. I kind of forgot. I should have known. He's my boy. Well, your boy technically, but
That's why I said pop in the crowd. I probably would have had Aerostar going over at the time, though.
this match fluctuated on who was in it a lot, and I can't tell you exactly who I had fluctuating through it. But I think Hechicero was out at one point because I had somebody else win in, but then somebody else had issues, so I just gave Hechicero the win. It was a mess for a little bit.
I could see Extreme Tiger kicking up a stink about Aerostar winning,
Extreme
or
Tiger.
vice versa.
Extreme Tiger is borrowed from AAA, Triple A.
That's why I assumed he'd be the problem.
So there's that. I think it's Triple A in this run that I'm aligned with.
Yeah, I think it's AAA.
Um,
Although Hechicero is the CMLL guy, so I'm not sure.
I don't.
But this is like 20 years ago, and I didn't pay attention to Lucha 20 years
And
ago.
I've signed Hechicero and Aerostar, so that's why they got the ECW back, and they're actually on the ECW brand.
Yeah, I figured that was the case. So most likely, yeah, it is AAA that you borrowed. Or AAA. God damn it, I'm half in Spanish that I don't speak
I know.
and half in English. You did this to me.
I did it, and Excalibur ruined me. I say AAA, and I listen to the commentary, and I think AAA. But anyways.
I know I'm not from LA and therefore don't speak Spanish, so I don't even try.
Oh shit. Well, let's move on to the show as we get
I
some.
think Excalibur is from LA. I know he worked in
Yeah,
LA
he is.
predominantly.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like I said, I know he worked in LA. I don't know that he's actually from there.
Oh shit. This is my big angle. Okay. Oh wait, this is not okay. I was thinking of something different, but this
This did pretty well either way.
yeah, and this
Not
is
quite as good as your opening promo, but still awesome.
this is my big angle brewing. Because last week we saw Yoshihiro Tajiri and Mikey Ripwreck when it was last week or the week before they won the tag titles, and the Briscoes debuted by attacking them. And now we go backstage to Paul Heyman as he discusses what we saw last week. We see footage from last week. Oh, it was last week, okay. Of the big tag title win from Tajiri and Ripwreck. and then the Fishers attack after the match from the Briscoes. And then we then cut to Paul Heyman backstage.
Yeah, it was last week because that was emergency booking after Justin Credible popped for drugs.
Yes, because I had to replace the Impact players because Tajiri and Ripwreck weren't even in the tournament because I was saving them for later. But we done cut the Heyman backstage in his office, who has some words to say on the subject. Heyman reveals he doesn't know how the Briscoes got in the building and into the ring, as they are not signed talent to ECW. Ignore those ECW backings on their pictures. Just go with me.
Everyone's seen the air quotes not actually signed angle before. We know how this works.
Just go with the Wardlow angle, okay? Signed talent to ECW. Heyman is in.
I was thinking Santino Marella, but it works for Wardlow too.
Heyman is intrigued as he knows their reputations because, Heyman's smart. He would know them.
Heyman definitely watched ROH.
Oh, Gabe Sapolsky was messing around, so of course. As he knows the
he'd watch it and he'd get angry because Gabe Sapolsky and him had heat.
As he knows their reputations and invites the brothers to compete on ECW TV next week. So, we'll see what happens next week when the Briscoe brothers come and fight at the ECW. Okay, and next up, as a first round match in our Women's World Championship Tournament, ECW Women's Championship Tournament, I should say, we get Cheerleader Melissa versus Lufisto. This one's the pot bill, I guess. And I mean,
yeah, you do have two of my favorite mid-2000s women's wrestlers in it.
This got better reactions than the Luchadors, so I mean that's good.
That's accurate to
that is
the crowd of the time, though.
Yeah,
because masked wrestlers, excluding Rey Mysterio, were really not over in the mid-2000s.
Not in America, at least.
And that's what I'm talking about, like with WWE audiences.
Yeah. And Cheerleader Melissa does go over. This was one of my solid first round matchups here. Don't have much to say.
And I mean, you can't go wrong with putting an Anderson over.
Yeah, I have an Anderson.
And that's better than putting a Blanchard over.
That's true. And now, so we get. Remember, with the women's tournament is a 16-woman tournament. And then the men's TV title tournament's only 8. So right now with the formula, we've been getting one TV title tournament match, a show, and we've been getting 2 women's for the default format. Which kind of got messed up with this whole Mike Awesome getting hit with drugs fans. Because we had extra layers added onto the TV title tournament. And we move forward.
Hey, it's just like the real ECW.
Yeah, and we move forward to our TV tournament's actual tournament matchup of the night, which has Tommy Dreamer face Christian York, because I had to bring Christian York back into the fold somehow, and here he is. Okay, matchup. I'll take that. I didn't expect this to do much.
It's a Christian York match.
I'm just happy Christian York didn't lose popularity.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by that, actually.
I mean, he was losing to Tommy, who's way above him on the card, so.
Yeah. Realistically, that makes sense, but I don't always expect the realistic thing to happen.
That's true.
But yeah. And of course, I've still got Beulah by his side because I've been running that little Lita angle with Beulah because, I don't know, kind of felt like they had unfinished business in real life a little bit, so we're running it out. Okay.
Yeah, that got left hanging because Beulah wasn't really interested in wrestling much anymore at that point, or being involved, so.
Yeah.
They left a lot on the table. WWE was trying to get her more involved, and she just wasn't biting.
Yeah, but in this universe, we'll have Beulah bite, I guess, and Tommy and Beulah are here to express their hopes for the future here. After his victory, Tommy Dreamer motions for a microphone. Tommy says he's glad to be back, happy that ECW is back, and is overjoyed. Remember, this is the first time Tommy's been on ECW since One Night Stand, I believe, because he just returned at Vengeance.
Yeah.
He had the sit-down interview, which was a pre-tape on one episode, and that was the only involvement he had before this.
Yeah.
So Tommy says he's glad to be back. Happy that ECW is back. Overjoyed with support he's seen recently. But enough with the mushy stuff, as there's business to discuss. Dreamer says he plans to become the first TV champion in this era of ECW. Tommy then points out that Mick Foley is on the opposite side of the brackets and hopes to see him in the finals, so he can kill two birds with one stone and avenge his hero and mentor, Terry Funk. At some point during the not to lay out my tournament too obviously, but at some point during the promo, Tommy hands his lovely wife Beulah the mic, possibly a dangerous game, and she expresses how she's happy also, as she has spoken to Paul Heyman, and while Lita is now in the women's title tournament, so is she, and the two are facing off in the first round. So remember last week, Lita made some advances to Paul Heyman and got herself into the tournament as the wild card last entry, and turns out Beulah's in the tournament too. And now they're going to face off in the first round later in the first round. So that'll be the last matchup of said first round. So we'll see how that goes in, I think, 2 weeks from this point? Maybe only, it might be next week, I don't remember. Coming soon to a ring near you. And next up, we get our last of two women's tournament matchups of the night, as we have the the matchup of the Goths, as we have Daphne versus Roxy LaFoe. Roxy doesn't get a picture because
That went about how I expected.
Yep. Daphne goes over. I wasn't gonna put Roxy over. Come on.
Of course, Roxy loses every time.
Yeah. And
props to anyone who watches OSW and knows what that's about.
The Scream Queen had to go over here, in these first. These tournament matches are the first time we're seeing these women too. So you can
Yeah, it's a chance to test out who's going to work on the program and who needs to go back to the Indies for a while.
Yeah. AKA go back to OVW or Deep South.
Pretty much, yeah.
But you can kind of tell by my winners in these early rounds who I have more plans for than others. But yeah, I'll take this, considering this was one of my weaker first round matches, I would say, for the tournament.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see it got a 47.
Yeah, me too, to be honest. Man, the poor luchadors. And
that was entirely a familiarity thing.
And they had a 3.5-star match too. It was just.
It makes sense though.
It does.
You remember that one Royal Rumble where they tried to bring in a bunch of luchadors in the 90s?
Yeah,
and it bombed because no one cared.
That Rumble sucked. But anyways.
That Rumble did suck, but the luchador match was actually really good.
I think that's 93. That's the last one I watched.
Yeah, and absolutely no one cared because no one knew who any of these guys were. And they work such a different style from North Americans. And back then you couldn't just look it up on the internet.
I just need to get their pop-up of North America. That's the issue.
Oh, exactly. I'm just saying, like, the game's mechanics are pretty accurate to the way things actually played out.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Next up, we get our second of two international showcase matchups. Our second three-way dance of the evening with the Great Sasuke, sorry. I think I said that right the second time.
You did.
Okay, good. Great Sasuke.
Bear in mind that I've never heard an actual Japanese person say that name,
okay,
so possibly I've been hearing a mispronunciation, but it's more accurate than Sasuke.
Yeah, because that's like an American way of saying it.
That's someone who doesn't know Japanese pronunciation and is reading it phonetically.
If I ask Kevin Kelly to commentate this matchup.
No, then it's the Great Samsuke. He'll add a couple of letters that aren't even in there.
Oh shit, but he is facing Jun Akiyama and Taiji Ishimori. I know I had issues with this matchup as well.
Yeah, no shit. Look, those three in there.
Okay, this got a better rating. I knew this one would do better than
the Japanese rating's gonna do substantially better in front of a North American.
That's why I put it later in the show. I had more faith in it.
They really like Ishimori, too.
which is good because that's what I wanted. I have some I have hopes for him to get over, hopefully. Jun Akiyama was borrowed from Noah, who's a partner for ECW in this world. It's AAA and Noah, I believe, are my partners. And I had Sasuke go over, I think? Because I think Sasuke wouldn't job. I think that's what happened in this match.
He definitely would not job.
I think he wouldn't job, so I gave him the win.
Yeah, he won. It says at the bottom there, right above match quality.
Yeah, there we go. This was some switching around too. I had a different lineup in this. I think the only person that consistently stuck in this match was Ishimori. But yeah, because I have, by the way, I have multiple luchador and Japanese stars that I fully signed to the company that I haven't revealed yet to Bill or you guys. So there's some exciting debuts on the horizon. And we've gotten multiple tonight, so we've gotten 4 tonight. Ishimori, Sasuke. Just in these matches, we've gotten debuts of woman too. So we had, who did we have earlier? It was Hechicero and Aerostar. So yeah. Next up, Lance Storm is interviewed prior to facing newcomer CM Punk in the main event. That's right, CM Punk's first match in the company in ECW, as was built as a big attraction tonight, is against Lance Storm. So Lance Storm is questioned about losing out on being the tag champion as they stand there now, and his thoughts on getting a main event opportunity against newcomer to ECW and WWE, CM Punk. Lance says he doesn't want to talk about Justin Credible and the tag team titles, because quite frankly the situation upsets him. He says he needs to look forward right now, but that the Impact players will still rule over the reborn ECW. In terms of CM Punk, Lance Storm doesn't care who he is or his background. Now he has a chip on his shoulder and a point to prove. Lance Storm plans to remind people that he's been one of the best pure wrestlers in the game for a long time now. And you know what? For Lance Storm promos, is pretty damn good. I know that.
Yeah, it really was.
I know Don Maria's here to boost it a bit, but still.
Lance still had to talk.
Now we move on to our main event of the night. Yes, CM Punk's first match is the main event because we're fucking pushing him strong from the get-go. Lance Storm versus CM Punk. I wonder who's going over here. Sorry, Lance, but it's Punkers time.
That looks about right.
Yeah, no, that's really good for a debut match, so I'll take that. I will take that for sure. Lance taking a little hit, but
CM Punk was probably carrying a bit of the ratings he earned later into his initial stats.
Yeah, his stats are pretty dang good, but his pops...
There's a problem with a lot of these historical mods where people are rated on who they'll become in a couple of years rather than who they are right now.
His pop is pretty accurate for the time, so that's where it's gonna... His push needs to be consistent. The reactions did get boosted because I decided to spend $10,000 to give Punk a special debut entrance, so, you know, just... We have the finances.
Might as well, you're bringing in enough money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm happy with this as the main event. I mean, it was the best feud on the show, in terms of matches at least. Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I wouldn't really compare a promo to a match.
Yeah.
Like, Heyman introducing a tournament and being good at it is not comparable in entertainment to actually watching a wrestling match.
And I booked this one just for me, to be honest, too, because I would watch the shit out of this, so yeah.
Lance Storm was featuring in a main event. Of course it was booked for you.
True. And
not that I don't also love Lance Storm, but...
Yeah. This is the first show of this run we've lost popularity with, so that's a bit of a yikes. I
blame the luchadors.
It definitely was a big part of it. This was a very adventurous show, to be fair. I was trying some different stuff. I'm okay with losing 0.2 pop.
The amount of popularity you lost is negligible.
Yeah. So let's end that show. We had a 60% show. Oh, look, TNA held Explosion. I'm sure they did some great stuff here. Oh, what the Team 3D versus Styles and Daniels on an Explosion.
Just randomly given away like a pay-per-view main event.
That's insane. Anyways, um, sorry, that was just crazy. Let's see here. Mail. We sold a little over 9,000 tickets, making.
Look at the bright side for TNA. They can still run that match as a pay-per-view main event because no one watches Explosion.
True.
It got seen by like 6 people in the Impact Zone, 4 of whom didn't pay for tickets.
I should know I'm doing an off-air TNA run now. That show does not do much for me. Oh crap. Okay.
I don't think I even remembered it existed, and I was a pretty dedicated TNA watcher at the time.
It wasn't very easily available to get your hands on, so I think there was a point they were like showing them on their website or something for a bit, but
they were, and it was like 2008, so you know the quality it was in.
Yeah. Yeah, WWE late heat quality.
I was talking picture quality, but
oh
yes.
Well, I mean,
show quality too.
I was to an extent too. I also meant how those shows looked because they didn't look great.
Okay, fair. They did film Heat with a potato towards the end.
Yes, I watched a lot of those late shows. Unfortunately, I saw a lot of Rob Conway, Jim Duggan, Greg Valentine, Val Venus. I don't know. Probably some Highlanders in there. But anyways, let's move on to Friday Night SmackDown. Okay, and this is SmackDown, so we open up hot with some Cruiserweight action. The Cruiserweight division's actually kind of thin for talent for Gregory the Face, so I kind of just went ahead and borrowed a talent from each OVW and Deep South. Of course, you guys don't know either of these two guys. You wouldn't recognize these guys from their pictures, but anyways. Gregory Helms, of course, retains his Cruiserweight title. He's a fighting champion, even though he's a heel. He's just that cocky and arrogant. He thinks and knows he's better than everybody else. So, yeah, another win for him. I
can't shake the feeling that I might have watched the neighborhood he wrestle last week.
No way he was on that show.
Is that JTG?
Yes, it's JTG.
Thought so. It's hard to tell with the glasses.
Yeah, the glasses can make it difficult.
So then, yes, I did watch the neighborhood he wrestle in the local indie show last week.
Yeah, Neighborhoody was his OVW name, and Austin Creed, I signed Deep South.
Yeah, I know who Creed is.
Well,
I wasn't going to play games with that.
I mean, look at that
JTG
face.
with the huge glasses on was hard to tell, but...
That's Consequences Creed if I've ever seen. I'll take, could have been better, but...
I mean, I've been a Creed fan since his Consequences Creed days, so, I'll take it.
I popped when I realized who this random guy named Xavier Woods was in NXT. And then I was like,
yeah, same here, actually.
And then I was like, why aren't you as good as you were in TNA? And then New Day happened. I was like, okay, we're back.
He wasn't as good because they tried to make him a WWE Cruiserweight.
He was garbage until New Day. His run sucked until New Day.
So did Big E's, though. They didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah, but it was better.
Big E was generic power guy.
Yeah. But even...
I mean, they pushed him a bit, but his matches were crap.
But even Woods' NXT run sucked. At least E had a good NXT run and had an alright start on the main roster. Woods got nothing all the way.
That's true.
But yeah.
It'll never be as bad as Low Key's NXT run.
Fair enough.
Or main roster run. I mean, when your entire gimmick is that you never win.
I mean,
he was good enough to pull it off, but...
This match didn't quite give me the total non-stop action I was looking for, but I used unknown talents, so that's my own fault. But I need a little more depth in my cruiserweight
division. Getting a 57 with, like, 2 guys that no one's ever heard of?
No, it's actually... we were shooting high here, to be fair.
Yeah.
And no popularity losses, just take what we can get. Helms got a boost for his gimmick. I'll take that too. Continuing in the show, Gregory Helms challenges Kidman to do better. Billy Kidman comes and makes his entrance, and Gregory Helms kind of walks past him on the ramp and talks some shit, and he's like, "Dare you to beat that?" type deal. Kind of like shades of earlier this year with Danielson and Ospreay a little bit, where they're trying to one up each other. Right, one after
Next
the other.
up, Kidman wrestles Shad Gaspard and Big E.
Shad Gaspard and Kofi Kingston.
I didn't want to say Kofi because I think Kofi was already a bit of a name at this point.
Yeah, he's in.
I can't remember exactly when he started, but I think he was already on WWE programming in 2006.
No, he wasn't on WWE programming until 2008.
Okay.
But I do have him in my developmental. Big E is years away.
Yeah, I
from
knew.
Big
I
E.
knew he was in your development. I couldn't remember when they started the stupid Jamaican thing.
Yeah. And Billy Kidman has a matchup next, of course, facing Jamie Noble. I still got guys for Kidman to face for a little bit. This match was actually worse than the last one, so I mean,
Shocking.
Kidman didn't one up Gregory Helms. That's how good Gregory Helms is in 2006. By the way.
Yeah. That's shocking. I figured, I knew Kidman wasn't as good as Helms, but I figured the fact that Noble was a known property was going to elevate this match higher.
It might have just been me trying to steal the show of this as well. I might have screwed myself.
Oh, yeah. Those are not the guys you want trying to steal the show.
Not Kidman in 2006. Jamie Noble could have done it with somebody else, but Kidman was the issue here.
I feel like Jamie Noble... Maybe this is more of a TEW thing with the connotations of steal the show there, because I don't play Pro Wrestling Sim, so I don't know all the connotations, but I know in TEW's version of Steal the Show, Jamie Noble would bomb because it's based on a big high spots match.
This is just based on...
They expect it to be fast-paced and flashy, and that's the opposite of how Jamie Noble wrestles.
You pretty much just... Your stamina's got to be pretty high, and your wrestling skill has to be 70 or above pretty much for a guaranteed success.
Then it would work better there. Because, in TEW, Noble's just not flashy enough.
I want to say...
He's a guy like a Finlay that'll just go out and beat bricks off you.
Yeah. I mean, he can move, too. He's
a good wrestler. I really like him, but he's not a steal the show guy in TEW.
No. Not by those standards, you're right. Next up, we just go into a Bobby Lashley Open Challenge like he's been doing for the U.S. title. Just getting some reps for Big Bob. And
that's a match I would actually want to see despite its relatively low rating, but it's an accurate rating for the time.
This show isn't setting the world on fire, but a lot of my...
Cash wasn't over in WWE, and Lashley was still super green.
I saved my good shit for later in this show. I figured Cash would be fun to see bumping for Lashley. That's literally what this was.
That's why I'd want to see that match, because I've seen Cash wrestle other big guys, and he can make them look great even if they're limited.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take this. I mean, Lashley's matches...
Honestly, 54 for how new Bobby Lashley is at this point is pretty good.
Yeah.
Because he didn't really start to get any popularity until he was on ECW.
Yeah, jumping through cages. But anyway.
And even there, they were doing everything they could to sabotage it. Not deliberately. They were trying to give him the Hogan push, but McMahon had no clue what people wanted anymore, and he was making him look bad.
And finally, a wild angle appears for Bobby Lashley as Mr. Kennedy comes from behind and gets a cheap attack in on Bobby Lashley, lays him out, probably hits him in the back of the head with his mic because that fits the character. And this is the best fin on the show.
Probably really hits him too because that fits Kid Anderson.
True. Fucking potato. Little stuff there, Ken. But anyways,
I always liked watching him, but he was sloppy as hell.
Last week we saw the debut of Dave Taylor as William Regal's partner, and now they're here to announce themselves as England's finest. That's their team name. So yeah, That
I'm not gonna lie too. When you said that a wild angle appeared, I thought you had stolen Perk Angle from TNA for a minute.
no, I mean I have Angle still, so I don't need to steal him.
Oh, okay. This is before he went over.
Yeah, he's in ECW. He's doing his ECW shit. I'm just following through with it.
That's right.
Um,
The mid 2000s wrestling kind of blurs together for me for when stuff happens.
yeah. Thank you, Regal, for giving me a great angle. And hopefully this match follows up decently as we get Dave Taylor's first match on SmackDown against Paul London. Some singles action, no tag action tonight. And, yep, best match so far, so I'll take it. Dave Taylor goes over. I mean, he's his first match. He needs a win, buddy. Let him do some fine technical work with this young lad. Yeah, that was a decent hit. That was a big jump for Dave and a decent hit for Paul, but it's worth it.
Paul
for
London definitely fell off the ropes at least once in the match.
He probably like fucking went to dive and crotched himself or something. This man was a mess. He was either the best high flyer in the world or a complete mess. There was barely any in between.
Depends entirely on how sober he was during the match.
Oh my god, going back and watching his ROH stuff is terrifying. I don't know how he didn't die.
I haven't seen his ROH stuff, but I've seen him nearly die in early TNA a couple of times.
Holy shit. It's insane. The stuff he does in ROH.
I remember one match where he tried to do a tope over the top rope, caught his foot, and spiked himself face first onto the floor.
Yeah. And now, for our big matchup, which I forgot to tease at the start of the show, but this is our second number one contenders matchup for the triple threat going on in the Great American Bash for the World Heavyweight Championship, as we're seeing who is going to face Rey Mysterio. We saw Mark Henry and Matt Hardy face off in a one-on-one match last week, which Mark Henry won. And now we're doing a big battle royal. I think it's a 15-man battle royal, because I didn't want every single person in this matchup, and SmackDown's roster's not
There
the
are
most
some
set.
names in that match.
Hey, stop looking. But
You've got it undecided. It doesn't say who wins, but
yeah. I think some people might be intrigued with the winner I choose in that match, but I have reasons. Anyways, let's move on to the battle royal.
if it's Gunner Scott,
No. It is Chavo who wins this matchup.
that's kind of who I expected. It was either going to be Chavo or Regal.
Well, the angle of this matchup is it looks like Taker's going to win, but then Booker comes in and screws Taker to continue their feud, which kind of started last week or whatever, and they had faced off and Taker beat him, because I need another big match.
Taker seemed too obvious. Like, if he's in a battle royal, he's probably not winning because it's a way you can give him a loss without hurting the character.
Yeah, he's the Red Heron.
Yeah, so I ruled him out. That's why I had it down to Chavo or Regal.
Yeah. Regal could have been a fun show, but he's busy in the tag division, so that's why he's out too.
That match did really well.
I was seeing if I snuck any. Oh yeah, I did sneak Rene Dupree's return in here. I forgot. I was gonna give him a more proper return, and then I was just like, well, I could use another kind of name for this match. I'll just sneak him back. He's back.
It's very 2006 WWE.
Hey,
to just like, here comes a guy that's been out for 2 years. Let's just stick him in a battle royal and never mention him until he gets eliminated.
It's Rene Dupree. His former partner, Sylvain Grenier, is here. Will they do something in the future? Who knows? They will, but stick with me.
Hopefully your tag team division needs another team.
Yeah, that's why he's here, but we'll get around to it. I mean, I could have gave Chris Kanyon the win, but yeah.
As much as it pains me to say it, Kanyon is not a credible world title challenger in 2006.
A 1-star match, but boy, did it get a good reaction. And nobody.
I mean, it's a battle royal. They're never good.
Nobody gained or lost any pop. Quite the matchup here. This is an anomaly if I've ever seen it. But anyways,
that actually sounds like a battle royal too. They're just kind of like half an hour of spectacle.
Yeah, I mean it's fair enough. Like I said already, Chavo Guerrero wins. So our main event, Yeah, I guess it is the main event. It's the world title match. I think I have it going on last. I mean, the only other match that would... Oh, yeah, it's going on last. I remember my card now. The only other match that could go up against it would be, like, Taker and Booker, but I put the world title on last, which you guys will see soon. But Chavo here is facing Mark Henry and Rey Mysterio in a triple threat. Now for the World Heavyweight Championship at Great American Bash. So stay tuned in however many more shows for that. But we still have one more segment before we close this show out. Bill's probably already read my promo over there or whatever.
No, I'm not reading your promo.
Oh, how sweet.
I read the headers. I'm not putting that kind of effort into your booking.
Asshole. Our main King Booker's playing a dangerous game. Like I said, King Booker cost The Undertaker the Battle Royal win and the World Heavyweight Championship opportunity at Great American Bash. And Taker had beaten Booker last week. Clean, by the way. Clean as a whistle. Which is why Booker's being petty and being a dumbass and testing the ire of The Undertaker. But Josh Matthews catches King Booker, who looks to be trying to leave the arena pretty quickly after screwing The Undertaker in tonight's #1 Contenders Battle Royal main event. Josh Matthews, what were you thinking costing The Undertaker in the Battle Royal tonight? Booker, a king shouldn't have to explain himself to a peasant like you. Well, I was just curious, as it doesn't seem smart nor wise to mess with the dead man based on the past. How dare you question the intelligence of your king? The Undertaker beat me last week only after Teddy Long blindsided me with that match, so I paid it forward and got mine. If the dead man loses out on a title match in the process, it's even better. Even the dead can hail their king. And then Sharmell chimes in with, "All hail King Booker."
Oh, fuck, I forgot she did that.
This is my era.
God, I hated that.
Unlocked.
It was Vicky Guerrero before Vicky Guerrero.
Yes. As the show reaches its closing moments, the lights go out, and we hear a gong. And yes, that's how I closed the show. I locked in.
I mean, that is a good close.
I thought it was a good climax to this show.
It's very mid-2000s WWE. I'm thinking of the one that ended with, "Buckle up, Teddy."
Yeah, fair enough. Good old 2009 episode right there. Well, no popularity changes. I'd take that over losing more. That would be sad if we lost it in both shows today.
Yeah. I didn't think you were going to lose anything on that one. It was a pretty...
It was more well-rounded than
card.
the ECW.
Yeah.
67, better show rating too. I think.
Well, there was nothing really bad on there. The worst thing on there was what, Gregory Helms, or not Gregory Helms, even Kidman Noble. No, the Helms promo.
Oh,
that was your only thing below 4.
And that wasn't even a proper promo. 50. That was just an entrance. And
yeah, it was just a moment. And your worst match was the Kidman Noble match, and that one was still completely fine.
Yeah, exactly. I think the biggest thing to take away from this one is William Regal needs a push, which just so happens to be in the books anyway. So, I mean, how convenient. Because, I mean, that was the best Finn on the show. And that was obviously a lot due to Regal's entertainment skill. So, yeah. So that's a note taken there. We'll cross that one off. I was proud of my Battle Royal when show closing angle. I had that in my head as soon as I laid out the #1 contenders matches. So I'm glad it paid off with the ratings. Yeah. Let's end the show and go to our email. And it is now July, so we can also go check our merchandise and be pretty slick about it. Okay. Merchandise is something that gets unlocked after you play for a month. Let's see. Look at all these. Look at this pie.
What a shock. Cena's selling the vast majority of your merch.
Yeah, I should probably resign that guy before we leave today. Because I meant to do that last episode and I forgot. No. The screen spoiled somebody, I hope.
I noticed you were actually selling some Chavo merch.
I'm selling Chavo. So
I mean, he's like the last place, but you are selling some.
yeah, I think they try to throw as many people on that screen too. So, but yeah. Oh no, Kara sliced her with a rib injury. What are we gonna do about Cherry?
I don't know. Not have a women's television champion?
Wow. Wow. I don't. I guess I'm not doing Deuce and Domino until at least October. But, but
I mean, not doing Deuce and Domino at all might be a good option.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't really planning it. I mean, maybe if I'm
They're
that
good workers, but that was a terrible gimmick.
I mean, all-timer theme though.
Fair enough. I just don't like those cartoony gimmicks that make it really difficult to do any sort of a storyline with. Because, like, what series angle are you ever going to put Deuce and Domino in? They think they're from the 1950s.
Well, yeah, I guess 50s is appropriate. I was gonna be nice and give them the 80s, but that was being too nice, I suppose.
I mean, I was talking about the actual greaser gimmick in kayfabe. There are a couple of greasers from the 50s.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing like being in the times. But so yeah, there's that. Before we go, I want to get one. I have a couple promises to take care of that I better not forget about. I said last time I wanted to do a contract negotiation live with you guys, and forgot about it. So we'll do it this time. And John Cena's is the first coming up in 40 days. So let's get this main event important player re-signed, hopefully. Oh,
Yeah, the guy who sells like fully a quarter of our merchandise.
never mind. I have to wait until it's down 30. I thought I could already do it, but I can't. Okay, never mind. We'll do it probably next episode.
Just
then.
don't forget next week.
Yeah, probably next episode I'll be able to. Well, maybe 2 episodes because
Probably 2 episodes because that's 10 days.
Yeah, because those are 2 days.
We'll probably just have Heat and Raw next time.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like Bill just said, tune in next time for Heat and Raw, for some fun action. I guess on Raw I can tease that we're gonna be starting the process of figuring out who the #1 contender is for RVD at SummerSlam. So stay tuned for that. I can't give away too much more because I don't even have the full show booked yet, but I can tell you that much. I have the next CCW and Smackdown booked and the next 2 Heats booked, but I don't have the Raws booked fully yet. But anyways.
You know it's bad when Heat's getting booked before your A show.
Well, I mean, Heat's easy the book. I just put on what I want to watch. Or...
I know, I'm just...
Heat is my Rampage, baby. Oh, shit. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this.
So it's terrible for like a month straight, then for 3 weeks they book like absolutely fire matches, so you get fooled into thinking it's good again, and then it immediately gets ignored?
Yeah, pretty much. That pretty much.
I might be a little bitter about the treatment of Rampage.
Fair enough.
When Tony tries, it's so good, and then he forgets for a while.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because Rampage is such a high potential show. But anyways,
yeah.
Thank you all for watching. Sorry if I wasn't as clicked in for this, but hopefully next time I'm more in tune and ready to go. So yeah. But anyways, hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and be sure if you'd like to. And join us in whatever the hell next video we make. Who knows these days? Everything's been so up in the air. It could be a Here Comes the Money episode, could be a collab episode, maybe even a fucking podcast. Who knows?
If Ryan ever finishes the comics.
But anyways, we'll see you whenever we see you. And hope
All
you
right,
enjoy.
have a good one, everyone.
Peace out.